what's up, Cynthia?
Hey, Ethan.
How you doing over there? What are you writing in your notebook?
Only the most important things go in here. Like, share, subscribe to the Happy Pill Project.
Yeah. So you heard her. Like, share, subscribe. So let's talk about something that happens. They come in like this, right? And now they're coming left or right, right? And how, let's talk about defenses first this way. So when they first land, the girl's like this, right? And she's got her hand back. I can't really see where her other hand is, right? Obviously, she should have dropped and she should have got it clear and we could have done that stack. There's a whole freaking series on it, okay? Now, this person is the person that I care about right now because that's my competitor. Go up for me, okay? So they just came under this hamstring, okay? At no point, now this is going to be gray areas that you have to understand right now. They want to potentially come this way or duck under this calf. That's what they want to do. They want to drive this leg line and backstep it on me, right? So why in the world would I be sitting on their shoulder blade, or let's say whatever you want to call it, south, you want to call it right side, whatever you want to call it. There should be no reason where my leg, when you see the video, the leg's going to be right here, okay? So I would love for the leg to be as far out as possible and the foot to be as low as possible. So I'm leveraging myself as deep and as low. So there's no opportunity for them to sink under me. They will try to force you, okay? They will try to muscle you. And as you're muscling, you're sliding out, Rafi, if you could see that. What ends up happening is they muscle you, they open up the opportunity to lace your foot in there, and now know all the muscling in the world goes out the window because you have a wedge in there that's stuck, okay? So potentially the only problem with this is he's stacking you hard and you're going to this move that you think, and as you're doing this, now your leg's on top of the shoulder and he's going to clear you to the side and you lost your first advantage, okay? So you got to understand, like, yeah, I get it, it's a move, but be careful, okay? There's a lot of times that you're going into that move because you basically, there's two things happening on this side, right? You're here on their shoulder, so I just told you to put it on this side of the shoulder and as low on the foot line as possible because he wants to duck under. I also, in case he lifts me up to muscle me, want to be able to slide that foot and make my first wedge underneath here. But, okay, I just said to you, hey, that's dangerous. So you, right now, this hand is a factor in this. Here, I'm pulling and pulling down. There's a reason. I need this leg back. I don't care what you tell me. You're going to go to triangles, competition play, he's just as strong as me. There's going to be, I know you're going to have this opportunity. You're going to see this on DVDs, okay? You're going to see this arm, and the guy's going to come over the top like this and come over and flip over. Well, I get it. High-level player, he had no business going in the pocket, and that arm should have never gone parallel with the shoulder line. So I am at a real bad angle to think that I can muscle that arm high. So I got to play this game of management and understanding. I'm going to ask you, you're the artist. You paint it the way you want to paint it, but you got to understand the full move. And then when I ask you, timestamp it for me, let me see it. And then when you go in there and you start time stamping, you start to go, that's not what you did. Okay, so you're like this and you're heavy on this line here like this. Okay, there's going to be times, okay, because I've made myself so heavy on this side that he wants to try to come this way. I get it. I do this throw also, but there's going to be a limitation to the throw. In a second, we're going to drill, but I got to explain this bigger story to you. He's going to run this way at some point, right? So there is the opportunity. This is no gi. So you have to understand your balancing here and how much you have to weigh down on this. Because if he comes quickly on me, we're going to flip it over. I didn't do that with my hand. I'm exaggerating it. Ethan, help me. With the hand, we fly over. Okay, come back again. Right? So as he's coming in, it's almost the same thing as a lasso, but I should have been heavy here holding this so he can't come underneath. Now he's coming this way, and I'm going, okay, This is where we are. We could take this in a lot of different ways. We can even go back to the one we did on Monday. Why can't I release this, touch this, straighten you out, and now I'm on this leg going left to right? Could have been. Let's go back a second. So I just want to open your eyes and see how this all plays out. Story doesn't attach. When I say that I used to think that John was the best player I watched, is because of the efficiency. The moment something presented itself, he capitalized on it. He didn't go from going to a guillotine to a toe hold. There were about 12 submissions along the way. Okay, now I'm like this. Okay, so I need you to learn two things today, because the world's about a week away. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks away. I'm here, and I want this leg back. So at any point, I could always protect and go heavy, open up the pocket, and now this is going to depend on your flexibility. I should have been able to curl this guy inside and now fight again with my feet on the inside positions. Right now, I lost the leg. So I'm telling you these things because I'm going to ask you to play with them on your partner. And I want to just say one thing. Please do them. Please. Especially the people that come all the time. I made fun of a young man the other day because I just kidding. He was sitting on the side and I go, "You got it?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got it." I go, "You do, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, why don't you do some, like, what do you do for a living? He goes, "Oh, I'm going to fight professionally." Well, okay. I go, "Do you do other things?" He goes, No, I do little odds and I go, "Dude, you should cut diamonds or you should like fix Ferraris." And he looked at me like I was crazy. And he goes, "What do you mean, coach?" And I go, "Because you can see something and you automatically, it internalizes in your body. Why don't you go on YouTube later and learn how to cut diamonds?" Because I don't think you can. I think you have to do it. And I think you have to repeat it. And I think you have to use your hands, and everything has to coordinate motor skills. Otherwise, you're in the wrong place, man. You should just go and watch one YouTube video on how to trade at the stocks or cut diamonds or fix Ferraris because you internalize it. You're special. So I made fun of him, and he understood what I meant. Like, you got to do the moves. Okay, come in here. So I just told you a couple of things. I was lacing in here, probably. Okay, I'm learning how to come this way, sir, and we're here, and I'm going heavy. I go, boom, I open up, he's off balance, I butterfly back in, and now we're on these attacks. Either I'm going leg high, don't know where I'm going, okay? So I'm gonna ask you to start with 2, and then I'm gonna pair it to attack this arm, okay? So we start slow, and let's amp it up, guys, let's do it. But let's talk about the reversal for 1 second. This leg, if you don't get into the habit, because if I don't get into the habit of really constantly pulling this down to fight whatever I'm doing over here, because right now I'm trying to figure out where this elbow is, and if I can grab this elbow to extend it. Some people are wondering, I see some people transferring this leg to that side right now. This leg is not the reason you go over, because what's going to happen, we're like this. And now you just got underneath, and I went, okay, I latched down over there to protect myself. And I'm trying to figure out, can I butterfly this in? Will I get the distance? Are you driving so hard on me that you're trying to control my leg to shove it through? And now you're going to come forward. I'm going to be like this. Oh, boy. And now that's when I start going, okay, we got to throw this guy over, right? I got to really fling him over. I would prefer to really analyze where the hand is on the other side, because I would love to transfer it into an attack, but I don't know if I can yet. So because mechanically, if you're like this, and I know you're thinking, you know what? Right now, this foot's on this side, okay? I have no idea where this foot is. This isn't how he came in from the very beginning when we were like this. And they pushed me back, and I went, huh, like my foot's not on that side right now, right? And I'm sitting here like this with a heavy line on this side going, okay, can I push him away enough to go, okay, I got my foot back in, let's fight again. Or I can't, maybe I don't. And I go, you know what, I'm holding him so tight here, I'm trying to figure out, can I get this arm above this shoulder? Because right now, structurally how he is, I'm not gonna get this arm over the top. There's no way. And I'm gonna start sacrificing over here, and now he's coming around here, right? So there's a game of management to see where that arm is. Once it hits the parallel point, it gets really weak fast. If I own gyms, I owned these like 15,000 square with Doug for a long time. We had 4 of them. They were really big. I know muscles. I used to go to all the conventions. I used to travel and look at the latest equipment, the Cybex and Star Trek, all of them. I know I had a different life at one time, right? So I understand, like, man, you got to understand, like, if you're doing lateral delts, I don't care if you're doing 15 or 20 pounds. Everybody knows you do them strict, and all of a sudden your form's going like, I'm not talking about swinging, bah, bah, bah. I'm talking about really, and you will see how fast that lateral delt tires. And I'm trying to affect that lateral delt on when I pull it out. Because if I latch onto that, and it's so retracted back, I'll never beat that lat muscle, right? But I'm over here trying to figure out, okay, it's here, okay? And now there's an opportunity for me to bite onto this thing. Okay, when we bite onto it, I'm gonna make this commitment, whether it's here or here, to take this arm and not let it go, okay? I'm gonna start switching this leg because that pocket's open. So I'm gonna risk going over the top. You're like this, and I just pulled it up. Whether I was like this or like this, I just pulled this up. And now it's past the parallel point. So my far side leg is gonna throw over. And I'm gonna go up on my shoulder and make a full rotation. So if I've gotten this arm up past this point, good probability that maybe I could finish this off. This foot is gonna go to this hip socket. Now structurally, mechanically, this is totally different. Now you're gonna see I'm attacking the lateral delt. At no point here, when I was trying to pull this up, was I attacking the lateral delt. And that's why I nitpicked on a couple of guys that were competed at the last, where they were sacrificing so here with no structure over here, okay? Now, they're here. I just got this thing up. Now, when this leg comes over on this side, you're making a full transfer and looking down. So as I'm here, because I got to accept it, I can't stay halfway, because now that's how he sneaks around me. So I want to go all the way over in case I got to recover on the other turn. Don't worry about the other turn right now. When you take this leg out and you throw it over, I'm up on my shoulders right away. So this shoulder and this leg, sorry, if you okay? I'm going to make the rotation again, right? I'm pulling here. I look down. This shoulder fights to get to the mat. I should have a posture where I'm looking down at the mat. My far side leg is no longer a defensive leg on this side. It's coming to this pocket for a reason. I want to triangle my legs in some manner, but I have to make sure I don't lose this, because once I come over the top on this transfer, I got to get the other leg out. So I would love to be on his hip line, pushing down to take this leg out. So now I can start switching this up. I can flip it this way if I want, right, and finish this way. Depending on if he rolls, I can maybe finish it the other way. I don't know how he's going to roll. Right now, I just want you to get into this position. And if you want to finish it, you're great. But understand why I did what I did. That's the only thing I ask you. You don't have to do it hard if you're confused about any one point, because that becomes the game of chess. Right? Like, you're playing a defensive line so heavy on a shoulder here, but you're reading the other side. And if there's no opportunity that you go, man, he's got that hand latched in, he's trying to look for my feet. And then you might say to me, well, I might say to you, why didn't you let him run the line and see if he got the reversal? And then a good reason would just be, man, Mike, when I felt his power and how low he was sitting, I wasn't going to get him over. So you know what? I'd rather just go into a recovery. And I'd rather play the line where I'm like, biting, meaning this. Like, he's running around and I'm going, oh, bite. And now, yeah, Ethan's trying to come here and I'm defensive, and now there's a big pocket here. I'm in. And we're back on this fight again, me attacking this arm. So you can see how it can play out, okay? I gave you a lot of things. Normally, I'd be a little bit more specific, but I'm going out to the worlds with at least 12, 14 guys. I want you guys to do well, okay? So some of this stuff, I ask that you drill it on your own also, because when I show you Bird's match, that's a tough division. Bird wasn't doing, Bird black adult, pans. This isn't a local show. A lot of people show. Finals, black belt, that move right there. So I will ask him if we could sit down, edit it up. I'll post it, maybe we'll go slow motion, and you're gonna pick, and I'm gonna ask, like, where would you have gone? Why didn't you go left? Why didn't you go right? And you should be able to read it and tell me. You want to be a high-level black belt? People go, oh, man, why don't I get a belt? Then tell me the answers. Tell me the freaking answers. Be a student of the game. Let's rock. If you forget, go on Happy Pill. Those videos were non-stop on how we get behind here, how we insert, how we recover, hip flips, everything. So you should be really kind of coordinated if you read long. If you haven't, if I see all messed up, I'll be yelling at you, you don't watch the Happy Pill. Okay, guys, so let's do it.